This is Veda Sports, only on the VSiN Podcast Network.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the Veda Sports Podcast. I'm now 17 and 23 for the year. Mike is a stellar 25, 16 and 1. Mike guaranteed 4 wins this season, and he's 3 and 1. If you shadowed his bets, you would be up, 9 units, plus a lot more if you doubled on his guaranteed picks. Mike the Mouth Mattis is a 4-time World Series of Poker winner. Mike knows sports, studies sports, and watches more games than all of us combined. Mike, what is your rant?
Well, my rant is on coaching. In the championship games, I went 2-0 last week, and I look like a genius. The only problem is the 2 best teams last week didn't win because of horrible coaching. And we will go over this on the podcast this week. But it's straight out criminal what Sean McVay did before the half against Seattle. All he has to do is run the ball on second down when it was second down and 5. If he gets 3 yards, Seattle's not going to take a timeout. If they stuff him to a 0 yards, they'll probably take a timeout. Then the Rams could either run it again and try and get the first down, make him use another timeout. And the worst Seattle could have gotten was 3 points at halftime. Instead, he went throw, gave him 3 timeouts, handed him 7 before the half. That's one. We'll get into the other Sean during the podcast.
Okay, Cantu, do you want to comment on the coaching or?
Yeah, this Seahawks coach. Oh my God, how good does he look right now?
He was great.
He was unbelievable. I mean, how he coached the fourth quarter and how aggressive he was. I mean, was that not beautiful on the
it's
long
the play
third
calling
downs?
Too. The scheming was great.
He everything worked that he did right after the Tariq Woolen, the penalty, the 15 yards for taunting down the sideline, which was pretty funny. After that ended, I really thought the Seahawks were going to lose after the next play, and there's the touchdown. You want to talk about a time to give up, but man, did McDonald just keep foot on the gas, kept throwing, trusting Darnold. Yeah. It was beautiful.
That's the difference in coaching. He was great this week, by the way.
Great.
Yeah, there was some really bad coaching and some really great coaching. All right, we're going to David, the businessman Woodley, who started Speed Survivor. Check out speedsurvivor.com. Man, Woodley, I saw the new deck for Speed Survivor. It's beautiful. Our guy Woodley, chairman of the board of Speed Survivor, by the way, has great knowledge and sharp takes. Woodley, you got to rant. How can you rant? Your Seahawks are there, your second favorite team, but go ahead.
Yeah, they're there. Man, the NFL, they got to fix this officiating nonsense. It's going to – we've now seen it in back-to-back weeks. Like the week prior with the Cooks interception. Was it interception? Was it not an interception? They didn't really take the time to review it.
It was an interception.
And then this. They didn't take time to review it, though. I mean, I don't even know what the catch is.
It was obvious.
And nothing really sticks out from that Broncos-Patriots game, though I'm sure there probably was a really bad penalty or a really bad call somewhere there. But in that Seahawks-Rams game, I mean, listen, the refs the refs single-handedly put the Rams back in that game with that taunting penalty on Tariq Woolen. Now, to be clear, he's an idiot. He's got to get his shit together. I didn't realize he's had he leads the league.
They warned him twice. They warned him twice, by the way, before they gave him the penalty.
Yeah, he's gotten 3, so he leads the league, and Seattle has 5, and it leads the league. But man, unless he said just the worst thing ever there to Stafford.
Woodley walked up the sideline, started shouting in the quarterback's face after they warned him twice.
Yeah, I don't know.
The whole sideline, the whole.
None of us agree with that, Woodley.
Right?
He shouldn't do it. He shouldn't do it. But you don't throw the flag there in that situation.
But Woodley, didn't they give they made a call with 2 minutes left or something, some bullshit small call about some sort of hold on the defense, which put the Seattle in the position to kind of ice the game.
It was a hold because if you remember that play,
sure,
everybody. Yeah, but the thing there is everybody. First of all, you can't make that call there. That hold at the end. The guy held him because it was second down. And this is why the coach is so genius. Everybody in the world, every other coach in the world there runs it. They'll run it there, and then most of them will run it on third down, but then they'll throw it on third down. But on third down, they're actually expecting it. So in second down, the defense is selling out to stop the run. So when they call the pass there, the guy held him. I mean, it was a clear hold. Like, if he doesn't hold him there, that's the easiest touchdown of the season.
Right, but
there.
you just said a second ago they probably shouldn't have called it. We all know it was a
no. But that I'm saying they shouldn't call the taunting call. The taunting, him jawing at the sideline doesn't make an effect of the game like whatsoever. It had nothing to do with the play. It's a dead ball foul. Like,
I think they should get rid of taunting penalties, but
they should. It's the NFL.
It was a penalty.
It's the NFL though. Like, why you shouldn't call these dead ball fouls anyways? Like, if you're going to call in the course of action,
I mean, there's a line.
They let him back in the game because of it. That game was over. They let him back in the game, and that's my whole point on this. It's like, unless what he said was like the worst thing on earth to Stafford, let it go.
Woodley. We all three have disagreed with you, but let's move on to Cantu's rant. We all think that was just a really stupid move, and if you can't control your players, they can't control their emotions. Brendan Cantu's a 2-time World Series of Poker winner and has some well thought out takes. Cantu, boy, he really does sometimes bet his entire net worth on one game. Cantu, what is your rant?
Today my rant is on myself. I should be at peak wealth right now. The Seahawks went 14-5 against the spread. They've been covering like down the stretch, at least I think the last 4 or 5 games, especially in the playoffs, and I'm mad at myself because I didn't believe fully in McDonald, Kubiak. Clint Kubiak made some great play calls there. I don't know if you guys saw the play call where JSN gets wide open in the end zone, the red zone play.
Next coach of the Raiders. He took
JSN out of the backfield, like in a running back position, and the defense lost him, bringing him out of a completely different look. It was a beautiful play call. I didn't believe in all those guys. It's on me. I should have been firing huge on the Seahawks. I didn't. That's my fault.
Cantu, you should be betting net worth and doubling.
Listen,
Yes.
I thought I said Seahawks wouldn't make the playoffs in like week 7, and I was all in on the Seahawks this week. So, and I was hoping to be wrong.
I love the Seahawks this week.
Yeah, I believe someone got it in good versus you on that one. Then when they're 5-2, and you sat there and said they want to make the playoffs, that was a good one.
Sometimes you win a bet.
Yeah, then you had Indy winning it all. Then you had who else did he have winning it all that didn't win it all? The Rams and
I also have Stafford at 5-1 for MVP.
Don't you remember the first 8 weeks of the podcast where Mike said Indy was going to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, well,
maybe
every week.
I still believe in my dream, so maybe I'll bet him next year.
Guys, can I bring up one more mini rant? Do you guys mind? Today it's really bothering me. I don't know if you guys saw the news today. The Bills hired Joe Kelly, their offensive coordinator.
Brady,
or whatever his name is. I did a bunch of research on him this morning. That's how much research I did.
Yeah, sure you did. You don't even know his name.
I did. And
I don't even know his name.
Well, I wrote it in my notes wrong. I can't say it was but I did a little research. But why are the Bills staying in-house?
Because their offense was ranked number 2 or 3 in the NFL.
Their offense, you have Josh Allen. I mean, your offense.
Josh Allen. Who is he throwing to? Who is he throwing to? You, me, or my cats?
Yeah, but he's extremely good. I don't think anybody here. Do you like the hire, Mike? Let's ask you.
I do. Okay, but really? I do think that they need to. And we'll talk about all these coaching hires too during this podcast a little bit. But I do think they need somebody that knows clock management and somebody that knows a good defensive coordinator, because every game the Bills have lost in the playoffs, it's not because of Josh Allen. They've scored 30 every game. It's because their defense gives up 31. So
I think they really should have went out of house. They got to clean up. They just got to clean everything up in Buffalo. That's my big gripe today.
Right. Okay, I'm going to ask you this, Mike. What do you think? How many Super Bowls, if the Bills over the last 6 years had a great coach, how many Super Bowls would they have won? I think
that McDermott literally gave away 2, maybe 3. The 13-second game, he put 3 people up at the line of scrimmage and kept everybody back when
ridiculous.
Kansas City had 3 timeouts.
Yeah,
so basically you're telling a pro team, let me get 20 and go to the ground in 4 seconds. Let me get 20 more and go to the down in 4 seconds. All right. If you just rush the passer, the game's over. You don't play
same question. How many Super Bowls would Buffalo Bills have? 1, maybe 2. Woodley, same question.
I don't know how many they'd win, but they'd at least have made a couple of them.
Right.
If they had the best coach, you could argue 3. If they just had an incredible coach, now
they're in the Super Bowl this year.
Enough.
This year, if he doesn't allow, people are saying, "Oh, Josh Allen called that play." Bullshit. That play before the half, they asked Sean McDermott, "What are you doing there?" "Oh, we were trying to be aggressive." That's why he lost his job, and rightfully so. There's nobody that can allow that play to go through before half when they have 1% chance of scoring if they don't take a knee.
For a couple of years, we've been complaining about the horrendous coaching that McDermott did. And, it doesn't mean he's not a good players coach. It doesn't mean that, but you have to get the strategy right.
And
it's very painful for us poker players to watch these coaches just make these blunders. I mean, blunder comes from the chess world, but the blunders are so ridiculous. Okay, guys, we gave you 4 rants, kind of. I didn't
3.
really
What's
rant.
yours, Phil? What are you going to rant about?
Yeah, I don't know. Mike, I feel like I just bought a condo in Las Vegas. I had the best week.
What bothered you? What bothered you in with football this week, Phil? What do you want to rant about in football?
Yeah,
I will say
that bothers you.
I will say that both teams did lose. The favorite, I mean, the best teams both lost. I agree with that statement you made, Mike.
Yeah.
And you guys all picked one side. You were all 2-0. And I picked the other, so I was 0-2. So you all beefed up your records. I went the other direction.
Listen, this podcast is going to miss you. I mean, people getting rich just going against you. I mean, this is like, to them, it's to everybody watching the show. I mean, we should have like 200 million followers. What is Phil betting today? And then everybody goes against it. The line moves like 8 points, and they still win.
Okay, I mean, I'm only 6 games loser for the year. It does feel like 100. It's been the worst sports betting of my life season. Now, to be fair, I made money every year, like the rest of most of the world. I made money sports betting every year, and I did it with NFL totals every year. And you know what? If you don't believe me, they wrote articles about it. You can go back. You can see my Twitter. Win, 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 win. This year, I had Detroit. I bet $25,000 over 10 wins. They got to 9. And then, let's see, I did hit Pittsburgh over 8.5, but I also lost the Raiders. And I did hit Minnesota. That was pretty lucky. They had to win 5 in a row or whatever to finish 9-8. But I ended up losing like 15,000. And then
think about the luck of like your preseasons and mine. Like I had Indy to win the division. They were 8-1, and the entire team gets injured. Right. I had Tampa Bay to win the division. They were minus 1,700 with 5 weeks to go, and somehow they didn't win the division. I had Detroit to make the playoffs. They were 99% when they were 5-1. They didn't make. So, I mean, and the only one I win is the Bills over 11.5. And I look like I needed a miracle to get that too.
Yeah. It's very weird. You watch the ups and downs of these NFL season picks. And to be fair, I've been lucky in the past. I think last year I needed Pittsburgh to win their last 3 games. But for whatever reason, I won 11 years in a row in NFL totals. And I bet more on that than I do on the season stuff. This time I've had to pay my bookie 3 times and I lost. So, all right, guys, we're moving on. We gave you our 4 rants, and now we're going to give you our 8 picks, starting with the number 1 picks on the other side of the break.
Confronting high credit card debt can feel scary. But the good news is, if you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, financial relief options are now available. National Debt Relief is currently offering debt relief designed to reduce what you owe, fast-tracking your way to being debt-free. If you qualify for debt relief, you may be able to pay back significantly less than what you owe and save thousands of dollars. Imagine only paying one low monthly program payment you can afford and saving money as you become debt-free. National Debt Relief has already helped bring debt relief to over 550,000 U.S. consumers, earning thousands of 5-star reviews and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. You're stronger than your credit card debt. Take the first step and visit nationaldebtrelief.com to see what debt relief you qualify for. That's nationaldebtrelief.com.
You're listening to Feta Sports on the VSiN Podcast Network.
Welcome back, folks. We have a contest where we give away $500 a week thanks to our sponsor, Edge Boost. Check out Edge Boost. VSiN Average Show Contest, VSIN. Average Show Contest. Simply make 7 picks each week. Can't do that anymore. For your shot at $500, already have an Edge Boost account? That prize doubles to $1,000. Quarterly winners get airfare to Vegas, a 2-night stay at Circa Resort, and a guest spot on the VSiN show. It's free to play. Join now at vsin.com/Joe. All right, here we go. Mikey, you've been red hot all year. All right, give us your number one pick of the week.
Well, these are going to be my preliminary picks. I'm going to get into it next week. Whatever prop bets that I think
Mike's
are really
preliminary
good.
pick. Cantu, an offensive guard's going to get hurt in practice. He's going to switch sides next week.
Yeah,
The thing is,
Mike's gonna get the
Listen,
injury report. I
the
can't wait for that.
preliminary pick is because my number one pick is, and I think it just moved back down to 46, but it was 46.5, is the under in this game. The Patriots, who looked like juggernauts, may look like a juggernaut all year. Then he had to face the three of the top 5 best defenses, and he literally, this is a true statement. It's like 0.071 per play, which is, their offense has been worse than the Jets this season in the playoffs. So if you guys think that Seattle has the number 1 defense or the number 2 defense, and they couldn't get a yard versus the number 2, 3, and 5, how many are they going to get versus the Seattle defense? Now, granted, they won't be in a snowstorm. They're going to be in good weather, so that could change things. But if you look at the first half against Denver, there was good weather there, and Drake May was horrible. So with that said, I like the under. Also, because Sam Darnold has been not very good the last 6-7 weeks. Last week he was good, but what did he face? He faced the Rams secondary, ranked 22nd and ranked 31st the last 6 weeks. So I can't just sit there and just go, oh, Darnold's great now, because he faced a secondary that everybody's carved up the last 6 weeks, and everybody was worried about if the Rams secondary could hold up if against a quarterback for a winner-take-all of the Super Bowl. And when it was all said and done, he didn't hold up. So I really like the under in this game. And, you know, the line opened 3.5 and moved to 4.5, and I'll get back on my second best pick after. Right now, my number one pick, I really love the under 46.
Okay, I'm going to call out Woodley, and then Woodley can speak about the over-under on this game. Now, of course, I love Mike and Woodley, but I got to give him a little teasing. He was so happy to get rid of Darnold last year. The guy won 14 games. Woodley couldn't wait. McCarthy, he's our star. McCarthy, here we are. McCarthy. Well, guess what?
Song.
Darnold was incredible. And finally, last week on the chat, I finally saw it. There it was. Woodley said, wow, Darnold looks like a really good quarterback. But all season long, even with Darnold winning these games, Woodley said, what about the playoffs? What about this? What about that? The defense won. Finally, Woodley, you have to admit, Darnold was a big mistake for Minnesota to get rid of Darnold.
I don't know if it was a mistake, though. They couldn't, like, the thing with Darnold and this team is
Darnold at $25 million?
It's a perfect. They didn't have the money. Like they did not have the money there. They would have.
Their O-line.
Their O-line's a disaster. They're still in like a massive hole. I mean, I said all along, like the play was to re-sign Daniel Jones on a 1-year deal, and keep McCarthy. Now they let Jones walk out the building, and you know McCarthy actually looked pretty good down the stretch. Like the last 8 games of the season, McCarthy was significantly better than Darnold. Darnold had a okay regular season. Like he really did struggle down the stretch. He led the league in giveaways, by the way. Like Sam Darnold had 20 turnovers, which was everything. And even coming in the playoffs, they said they'll be okay as long as like Darnold doesn't turn over the ball. And what has he done this playoffs? He's looked phenomenal. He hasn't had a single turnover. They destroyed the Niners. They destroyed the Rams. A lot of that's on Darnold, but a lot of that's on the coaching too. Like they've really set up Darnold with chances to succeed. Even on that last drive, again, having him throw it on second down instead of third down, it's great. They're running the ball well. That O-line is incredible. So no, I don't. I think the Vikings. I still don't think it was like some big mistake. I don't think the Vikings are in the Super Bowl with Darnold because like that line was bad.
I agree.
All that good stuff. With that being said, no, Darnold's looked great. I mean, Darnold looked like this with the Vikings too at times, where if he doesn't turn the ball over, He's a really, really, really good quarterback. It's a great story, and I hope he wins Super Bowl MVP. I really do. And he's a very likable guy, a very rootable guy, like down to earth, all the good stuff. It's just a perfect scenario for him. Right coach, right team, right O-line, freaking amazing weapons, best receiver in football, good running back, and then the best defense, right? And so he's like the perfect guy for this team. And his number one thing is his temperament. He never gets like too high or too low, so it fits in.
Can I just say you sound like the chairman of the board? Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
You parried that. I attacked, and you parried very well. Well done. Now comment on the over-under for the Super Bowl of 46 and a half. It's a little early, so we'll give you either one. You like the over or the under?
Yeah, I mean, I my whole thing on this is I think Seattle wins this in a rout, and I like the under kind of because of it. I don't know how New England is going to score versus them. I mean, the Seahawks, if you look down the stretch, they beat the Niners in back-to-back weeks 54-9. And like, I don't care what people say about this, that, and the other, the injuries. They still had Brock Purdy. They still had Christian McCarthy. They still had Kittle that first game. They still had Jawan Jet. They had Kyle Shanahan. They had Kyle freaking Shanahan.
I saw a stat. You take away the 2 Rams games in week 16 and this playoff game, the other 8 games, they've given up 9.8 points a game.
Yeah, and even in the Rams game, I mean, listen, that defense, like, did they give up points? Like, yeah, but you're going to give up points to Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp and Sean McVay, right? And like I said earlier,
Cooper Kupp's on Seattle.
This game was a taunting call away from actually being like a blowout, right? And we're coming in here even like more like hyped up. No, not Puka.
Puka, I know what you meant.
In that, so who is like Puka is like one of these guys. He's going to get his yards, right? And like some of these guys they're just always going to get those yards against you. Dude, the Patriots don't have one of those guys. And like I like Diggs. I'm a huge Diggs fan. Like he gave me like the greatest moment in like my Vikings fandom history with the Minneapolis Miracle, but like he's older now. Like he's not a legit wide receiver 1. He's like a solid wide receiver 2, but like Seattle can take him out of the game if they need be. And like who's the next weapon they have? Like the running backs, like Hunter Henry. Like, do you think Hunter Henry is going to like put up points? And then okay, like sure, Drake May is a solid quarterback. Can he run a bit? Sure, but here's the thing with the Seahawks, and they did this versus the Rams. This is why they beat the Rams. This is why they beat everybody. This is why Philadelphia won last year too. It's when you can get pressure consistently rushing 4, you will win almost every single game in the NFL. And like, if you think they'll be able to contain May, and if you think May's going to be able to Diggs is going to be double teamed. There's just I don't understand. I don't see how New England
the Patriots are ranked like 22nd on rushing the quarterback.
Yeah,
which is kind of why I went against them in that Charger game.
For this over to have a chance, like the Patriots need to score at least like 17. And I don't think they get there. I don't think the Patriots get more than 13 in this game, honestly. So I don't see. Maybe the only way I think the over hits is if Seattle scores like it's like 40-13 or something. But I don't think Seattle's going to put up that many either. But you never know.
Cantu?
I have a very similar opinion as what Woodley said. I first off, I'm going to start with I like the under. I'm going to say I think the Seahawks are just going to rout them. I think it's going to be Seahawks. The only way that I can see the Patriots staying in the game is if they run the ball, and they've got to be effective. I don't think they're going to get to that secondary. That Seattle secondary is killer. They're coming to make big plays. I don't think they've faced that much of this in those, in all the cupcake games that they've got to play.
They did in the playoffs here, and they didn't do anything. I mean,
they have been stymied. You're right. That's
15 sacks. He's on. If he takes, I think 3 more, he'll break the record for most sacks during the playoffs. I mean, Drake May has been take away 2 runs and the one that iced the game for him last week. He has been terrible, and this Seattle defense is, to me, I mean, it's been the Texans 1, Seattle 2, or vice versa. The only one able to move the ball is the team with the best offensive line and the best quarterback in Stafford. So I just don't – I'm with you on that. So,
all right. Any other thoughts, Sir Cantu? You're good.
For right now, I guess we'll get into our picks because I'm going to save a lot. I have a lot
How
to
about
say.
this, Cantu? Would you be surprised? Would you be surprised if at some point in the game it's 24-7 Seattle?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's 24-0 Seattle.
I would not be surprised if it's 24-7 Seattle. It's sometime in the third quarter or something. And then Seattle's going to slow it down. They're going to run more.
I also think that, the Patriots defense, based on paper, what you saw in the playoffs, they're the better defense than the 2000 Ravens. But we could argue why, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
I'm going to go with final score 31-8. That's going to be my score. I'm going to put up a cute number of 8 as they're going to get desperate and go for 2 down the stretch.
You should play that square game, the Super Bowl square game.
The Super Bowl squares, 31-8. So I do like the under.
I tried to enter a 2,000 a square game, but they sold out. That would have been fun.
I'm in one of 1,000 a square with Stu. I go with every year. So.
That's fun. All right. So I love the under here, and man, I'm tempted. I haven't made a guarantee all year. I'm tempted of saying I'm going to guarantee, but I can't do it because it's not my pick. It's Mike's pick. So I'm not going to go with the guarantee.
I want to guarantee it, but I'll wait till next week. Preliminaries.
We will hit it early, Mike, whether you have a guarantee. All right, Cantu, we're going to come to you for your number one of the pick of the week, although I don't think anybody's going to be surprised.
Number one pick of the week. I've already let the cat out of the bag. Seahawks. Again, the Patriots are going to have to do everything they can just to evaporate time. I'm really surprised the line's at 4.5. I think it's going to go up. Unless you are from like the New England area, I don't know that there's many people. I haven't talked to my smart friends yet. It's too early about who do they like. I just can't see how you could love the Patriots. I mean, maybe you're finding some tiny you think they're going to keep it close. How do you love the Patriots? The Seahawks are better in every single category. The only one that I think is like a toss-up is Vrabel and McDonald. Coach, I think that's a toss-up. You could say the quarterback. I'd rather have Darnold than May. We've talked about this. May hasn't been challenged like that much. And when he has been challenged, he has not brought it. I'll take Darnold. Darnold has had to play some tough games, especially the end of season games. He had to even play some high pressure games, and they lost this game, but I could say it was the build. I remember I went to the game where they played Tampa and they won, or they lost 38-35, but man, that was back and forth. Because let's just say New England does kind of get into that shootout, I didn't see it coming, and here they are chopping our defense up. I still believe that that Darnold and Seattle is going to step up and chop them right back. I don't see any flow. The only flow I can see is if New England just does 5 yards a carry, 4 yards a carry, 5 yards a carry, and they do this all the way down the field. That's the one way I see that they win this game. And I don't think that I don't know that they can be committed enough to the run, even though Vrabel, I'm going to give him all the props in the world. Man, did he coach the hell out of that second half?
Yeah,
that second half.
He knew run, punt. Run, punt.
Let me finish this, Mike, because he saw the weather. And I said at halftime, I was talking to our friend Jay White, and me and him both said the only way whoever does it first and just goes run, there can't be any passing. Both teams look terrible. Just run the ball, play super conservative. And you know what? New England did it, and they just ran all the way down to start and they did like a 9.5 minute drive. That is the way.
He was still short on that 4th and 1. I don't care what anyone says. There's no way he made that.
That was Cantu's best take of the year.
I mean, that's the only way they're going to win is if they chop us up, the time evaporates. Seattle's defense is exhausted. Darnold hasn't been on the field. That is how you beat us. I don't think they can do it, though. I don't think they can do that.
And listen, if here's another thing. If you like New England, you must parlay this with the under, because the way I see New England in the game is the fact that I don't believe what you saw last week with Darnold is because I think the Rams secondary is ranked 31st the last 6 weeks. Okay. So everybody carved up the Rams secondary. You watched Bryce Young do it twice. So I'm not convinced. And again, if the Patriots defense is even half of what we've seen in the playoffs, the Seattle's going to struggle to score because they struggled to score 7 in the last 8 weeks. So, this game could end up 17-13 and they could cover the 4.5 spread. I see this definitely possibly happening. Again, here, the Patriots are the only team in NFL history to finish the year 9-0 on the road. I mean, that's like impossible. That's almost as impossible as the Warriors winning 73 games. So you have to, as much as we could say, and everybody could say, the Patriots they suck. They beat nobody, which I've said all year, right? They were still 14-3. They still beat 3 of the top 5 defenses to get to the Super Bowl. They're 9-0 on the road, and you can't have an overreaction because of what Darnold did to a secondary ranked 31st the last 6 weeks of the season. So I think that's why the number's where it's at. That's why Vegas opened at 3.5. And I don't think Seattle can lose this game, but I could see it 17-13, 17-14.
Having said all that, Mike,
go ahead.
Cantu.
I'm going to agree with Mike on what he said. I think it's a very correlated parlay that if you do like New England or you're a fan of New England, I think you've got to parlay it with the under. You have to. That is, I mean, it is. If that's going to happen, that's how it's going to happen. It's not. I would be shocked.
They're going to have to win this game 16-13. It's got to be 6. They're going to have to play the defense they played the first 3 games against. A team with no offensive line, a team with no wide receiver, missing 2 offensive linemen, missing Schultz, their tight end, and Stroud sucks anyway. He's ranked 27th.
I'll be shocked.
Against Jared Stidham. Again, we could say that those are who they played, but the defense through 3 games was on pace to be the best defense in the history of the playoffs through 3 games. So Mike, we don't know.
Mike, comment on the 4.5. And by the way, let me just say this before I come to you. I bet last night at 4.5. I took Seattle and I laid 4.5. When I woke up, was already at 5.5. So I don't know. I think this is okay for us to discuss this. We don't like to discuss line moves too much.
I just looked. It's 4.5 right now.
Yeah, but at my site, it's at 5.5 right now. So moved a whole point. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. So Mike, who do you like?
It's a preliminary, and I think that Vegas isn't stupid. They know that everybody watch what they saw. They saw New England was so bad in the snowstorm, and Seattle was so good, and boom, everybody just rushed to bet on Seattle, including myself. I wanted to try and get down at 3.5 because that was the opening number. By the time I went to go bet, it was 4.5, and then I started doing a lot of thinking. And as of right now, I think I might take the points, but that's right now, and I think Seattle's going to win the game. I really do. I think Seattle money line is really
you like New England, huh?
But
I'm surprised.
I'm shocked after all that talk. I mean,
it's because of what a team that's 9-0 on the road, a team that we don't.
What is Seattle on the road? 8-1. I mean, what are we not? Who'd they lose to on the road?
They lost to Rams.
Oh, to the Rams. Yeah. I mean, that's a very excusable loss. Yeah. I mean,
I get it.
Let me tell you, New England didn't play. They played nobody this year, so they didn't play a Rams on the road. The only team they played on the road was Buffalo. If I recall, at least when the teams were healthy.
I'm just saying preliminary. I really think Seattle's going to win this game.
Let's bring Woodley into this discussion.
4.5's a lot, man.
Although Woodley's a Seattle homer.
Here's one other stat.
Mike, I want to hear your stat.
The last 17 times a team has been favored by more than 3, the dog has covered the spread. That's a big number. I just wanted to throw that out there. 7 times in a row.
Yeah, I mean, a lot's going to be said about the Patriots' path there, and it hasn't been impressive, but at the end of the day, they've still won the games. The defense does look good. May is he's going to finish second in the MVP voting this year, which I think says more about just the bad year QB's had. I mean, even Darnold's looked great, but has he looked great, or has he just looked great compared to a bunch of quarterbacks that haven't looked very good, especially this playoffs? I mean, there's not. I guess that first opening round, Allen looked good. But other than that, it's just.
Allen didn't look good. He was horrible.
Darnold's looked the
Denver.
second best, which is insane to say.
Nix has been the best quarterback in the one game. He was the best. He played unbelievable.
Yeah, but even he's not that impressive. But again, I said earlier, it just feels like a Seattle route, and could they beat themselves? Can turnovers happen? Can freak things happen? Yes, but other than the taunting stuff. Seattle looked pretty disciplined thus far in their 2 games. Now, it's easy to do when you're leading both those games, but here's it. I mean, Seattle is better than them in every phase of the game. They are better They have a better coach. I actually don't think it's that close. I think McDonald is like a revelation. I think this guy's like the next big thing. He's the next big thing. I mean, it's impressive what Vrabel has done. Like McDonald winning that many games with that schedule in that division with that quarterback is just it's unheard of. So they have a better coach. They have the better defense. They have the better offense. I think they have the better quarterback. I think that by far they have the better weapons. They have the best receiver in football. That is huge in a Super Bowl
JSN
like this. They're going to give them the ball. They can't stop them. They got losing Charbonnet does hurt. But again, Walker is good for 34, not 40, but he's good for 30 touches. I don't see any way that New England really keeps it closer. I don't know how they score touchdowns.
I don't
like they will hold them. Seattle's so good. And this is what great defenses do, right? Every defense will allow yards between the 20s. It happens, especially if this game goes on and all that as well. Seattle beat the Rams and the Niners all these times because I got to go back and look at what the numbers are, but man, like their red zone defense was incredible. They held them to so many field goals. They held them to so many fourth down stops. If they're holding the Rams and the Niners to field goals and fourth down stops inside the 20, like I'm sorry, like how are the Patriots? If the Patriots are sitting there like first and goal at the 8, how are they getting the ball in the end zone? I don't know. I don't know.
That's why I like that's why I love the under so much.
Yeah.
And I just think that I mean, if this game goes over, there's no way Seattle doesn't rout them.
But on the flip side too, Seattle's been really great at not having to rely on field goals. They kick a lot of field goals in the regular season, all that. But like, look at what they have when they go and when they're inside like the 10-yard line, first and goal, right? You have Walker, who is a machine.
Yeah,
that O-line is incredible. Darnold has all his confidence now, so you're not worried about him. JSN again, like best receiver in football. That guy's like deaking and diving and getting open. I mean, he's doing like they have play, and the play calling's incredible. They're getting him open. And oh, by the way, if he's not open, you have a guy named Cooper Kupp who's like only like 4 years removed for being a Super Bowl MVP. I mean, Cooper Kupp had like the two most clutch catches last game.
Do you remember when our Gronk came back after a year or two off, and he didn't necessarily look good until the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was ready for the playoffs.
And then somehow in the Super Bowl he went off. Brady found him in Tampa Bay. So I think Kupp could have the same thing. I'm going to just say that my number one pick is Seattle, -4.5. It aligns with Cantu's. We've already talked about it. And let's go to Woodley for his number one pick.
Yeah, I mean it's probably Seattle, but I'm going to throw like a fun prop out there. I mean, it is.
Wait. Let's make it Seattle only because we have to end the segment and move on. And then I think you like Seattle as your number one pick.
Yeah, Seattle's my number one.
Okay, all right, guys, we're coming back from the break. So much good knowledge there. Woodley with some great drops. Cantu with his take of the year, in my opinion. We'll see you after the break with our number two picks.
If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or personal loans, help is here. More and more Americans turn to credit cards to get by. National Debt Relief is helping qualified clients reduce what they owe. For many, continuing to struggle making minimum monthly payments could take years to pay off. National Debt Relief has already helped over 550,000 Americans reduce their debt by negotiating directly with their creditors. When you call, you'll be amazed at how much you can save and how quickly you can become debt-free. If you want off the debt treadmill, visit nationaldebtrelief.com today. You don't need to declare bankruptcy, and you may qualify for significant debt relief. To find out what savings you may qualify for, simply visit nationaldebtrelief.com. That's nationaldebtrelief.com.
You're listening to Fada Sports on the VSiN Podcast Network.
The Fada Sports Podcast is brought to you by our sponsor, Splash Sports. If you don't know Splash, the founders bought OfficeFootPool.com and RunYourPool.com, and they are now live in 45 states and Canada. Download the Splash Sports app, currently sitting at number 7 sports app in the App Store and climbing. You'll find all sorts of contests and bets starting at $5. Thanks again to Splash for sponsoring the Fada Podcast. Normally, I'd go to Mike for his number 2 pick, but wait a minute. Cantu has breaking news. Something about Splash Sports.
Breaking news on Splash Sports, guys. This week, I won a contest, a DFS. It's just a small one. I like it. It was a $25 contest, $25K guarantee. It was a 27 weight chop, which is kind of funny. There were so many contestants like in it, that I think they had more than they thought, and you only picked 4 guys, like just from the conference championship. So it was a big chop. I mean, whatever,
He
like
won
$650. I won a contest. It felt good, Got my
winning's always feels
winning,
good.
yeah. Felt good.
All right.
And then also one last thing. I'm in a touchdown survivor contest. I'm one of the final 5. It's 5 or 6. Like, here I go. I got
Cantu found these Splash Sports contests. He's having a ball over there. I was talking about this being the worst year of my life in sports betting. I also entered a $50,000 buy-in contest with all my billionaire friends. 100% my money. And I managed to lose that too. Damn it. Mike, give us your number 2 pick before I cry in my milk over here.
I think Seattle's going to win. I don't know if they cover, but why would I lay 235 on Seattle to win when I'll just take plus 125 on Darnold for MVP? So my number 2 pick is going to be plus 125, Darnold MVP. Seattle's going to win, I think. I don't know if they cover. Like I said, if they win the game, who else is going to get MVP?
I'm going to tell you who's going to win MVP, and it's going to be Kenneth Walker, by the way. I love Kenneth Walker. Now that he's not doing timeshare with Charbonnet, he looks incredible. I think Seattle's going to get way up. Hold on. I think Seattle's going to get way up in this game, and then they're just going to run, and Kenneth Walker is going to rush for like 162 yards.
And if they get way up in the game.
Mike, let me finish on 22 carries, and he's going to get a huge workload because of the score of the game, and New England's going to have no answer. It's not going to be Darnold's fault he doesn't win the MVP. It's going to be because of the flow of the game.
Okay, I agree with Cantu on this. And since we've covered this game so well, we'll go to Woodley's opinion right now, and we're gonna kind of ping pong our picks.
Let me tell you really quick. Not Sam Darnold. Kenneth Walker is plus 600. I thought I'd give you a quick number since I brought that up.
Yep. Woodley.
Yeah, this is one where it's kind of tough because there's like a lot of different ways for Seattle to get there, and Darnold also isn't like the sexy pick. I mean, you have Smith and the Jigma that could steal it. You have Walker that could steal it.
Yep.
I don't like those odds. I think they're too short.
I agree.
Honestly,
way too short.
If you want to take a run at it,
Mike, nobody likes your pick, Mike.
No,
if you want to take like a stab at it in like a lottery pick, there's a couple I like. You could get Cooper Kupp at 90-1 to run it back and win the MVP again. Now, this only makes sense if it's kind of a close game, but I don't know. I mean, look at what Kupp did in the second half last year. I mean, he could.
Who was the last time a quarterback didn't win MVP?
It happens. Anyways, and then if you really want to get funky, you could go Devin Witherspoon 90-1 as well. But that's going to require like a pick 6.
Okay. All right, guys. Stuff. Look, I'm going with my number 2 pick here. Since again we have to go through these pretty quickly. I like Drake May to run for over 40 yards, and right now it's like minus $1.05. But I just think that I think he's just explosive. We've seen him do these huge runs. I was so excited when I thought, well, I'm going to find Drake May on the board at 20 yards. No, 40 yards. So I'm going to go over Drake May. That's my number 2 pick. Cantu, fire us your number 2 pick.
Well, can I comment on that real quick?
Yeah,
I love your pick. And let me tell you why I love your pick. Vrabel has really, what I was talking about is coaching adjustments. They have sent Drake May to run loose. You're at the point you don't care if he gets hurt. This is everything. This is people's careers on the line, legacies. Nobody's worried about Drake May getting hurt in the last game. It's going to take everything they have. And I think that's actually back when I said how you can beat Seattle is if Drake May, we're not spying on him, that he's doing these 20-yard runs down the field. That's another way.
Cantu's on point today. Woodley, thoughts quickly?
I kind of don't like it, actually. Like, the teams these quarterbacks actually haven't been having a lot of success. Like, 40 is a lot. The only ones that topped 40 versus them this year was Kyler Murray and then Jaden McDaniels.
Mikey, quick thoughts?
What did he take?
Drake May to run over 40 yards.
The Seattle hasn't allowed a 100-yard rusher. The most they gave up all year last week was to the Rams. They gave up a total of 95. I don't think Drake May against that Seattle defense is getting 40 yards rushing.
Okay, so Helmuth and Cantu like it. Woodley and Matisow don't like it. They're pretty powerful when Woodley and Matisow are on the same side here. Cantu, give us your number 2 pick. We're moving a little fast now.
Number 2 pick is a line that hasn't come out yet, but I love it so much that I don't care what it is because I know there's going to be a range in there, and that's the Seahawks team total over. In fact, it might be out it's going to come out any minute. So, but last I saw when we started the podcast, I hadn't seen it out. It's going to go over. The Seahawks are going to get into the 30s, somewhere in there, and I think they're going to cruise right to victory. Maybe even with a quick, nice kickoff return or punt return from Shaheed.
I mean, Cantu, I'll just say this. You have this way sometimes of saying, I don't care what the line is. And I think, what if it's 1 million?
Well,
and
I mean, the line.
How can
I can do the math? It's going to be just take away 4.5 points.
I know, but you do understand that we can't really pick. But the line is out. So the line is out on my side. It's 25.5
over.
Okay, all right. So at least we can comment on that. Okay, but if I didn't look it up, we would have just had to move on quickly. Woodley, do you think Seattle will score over 25.5 points?
It's a tough one.
I think it's tough.
It's like
okay, we'll pass. Mikey,
touchdowns.
Go ahead.
Sure, why not? Why not? I mean,
over 25 points for Seattle.
No. Over 25.5.
No, that's why I like the under. I think it's
okay.
I think it's going to be 21-13, 20-13, 20.
Wait, you just said you like the Patriots. What are you talking about? How could that be your pick, Mike?
Well, 17-13. I just think it's going to be a low-scoring game. No way do I like Seattle over 25. No chance.
All right. Okay, guys. Thank you for going through that one quickly. We're going to go real quickly through Woodley's number 2 pick.
I'm taking the Seahawks under. The game under. So that was Mike's number 1.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay, guys. All right. On the other side of the break, we have a few more surprises. See you in a minute.
Confronting high credit card debt can feel scary. But the good news is, if you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, financial relief options are now available. National Debt Relief is currently offering debt relief designed to reduce what you owe, fast-tracking your way to being debt-free. If you qualify for debt relief, you may be able to pay back significantly less than what you owe and save thousands of dollars. Imagine only paying one low monthly program payment you can afford and saving money as you become debt-free. National Debt Relief has already helped bring debt relief to over 550,000 U.S. consumers, earning thousands of 5-star reviews and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. You're stronger than your credit card debt. Take the first step and visit nationaldebtrelief.com to see what debt relief you qualify for. That's nationaldebtrelief.com.
You're listening to Feta Sports on the VSiN Podcast Network.
Folks, you might be listening to this podcast because you want an edge. You have the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. ProBetter spend thousands of dollars on data and tools. What they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you'll get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Just tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets. Okay, with 5 minutes left.
I got something I wanted to touch
Go ahead,
on
Mike.
that we didn't. We started at the top of the line about coaching, and I told you about how McVay single-handedly gave the game away to Seattle. We didn't talk about how the other Sean gave away the game to the Patriots. The Patriots had their 7 points was on a 12-yard touchdown on a. If you watch the replay of it, he's actually shuffling it forward, but the guy hits it backwards. So it shouldn't have been ruled a backwards pass because he went forward. The New England guy hits it backwards. That's how they got 7. Not going at home for the field goal to go up 10-0, I thought was criminal at the time. Not because of a normal time, I'd go for it. But with a backup quarterback, you're at home. You got all the momentum. The Patriots had gotten, 12 total yards in the half. And, they get that field goal there. It's 10-0, right? If they run the ball in that second half, right, they could have run the ball.
Way too much passing.
They could have run the ball on that other field goal that got blocked that would have tied the game. If they run it up the middle, they have they have 26 seconds with no timeouts to get a field goal guy out there, and they could pick up 5 or 6 more yards. And that 5 or 6 more yards was a difference. Not to mention that I saw the replay of this. Lutz was right. the spotting of the ball supposed to be 8.5 yards back, but was only 7, and that's why it got blocked. By the way, so the coaching by Sean, fucking what's his last name?
The Denver coach.
The Denver coach was awful, and McVay was awful, and I think the two best.
Let me tell you something. When they go ahead, Cantu.
It's a huge mistake. I saw David Baker say that it's a half a point error. Not everything is completely
in analytical. Yes, but this hold on 1 second.
Let me finish. Yeah. This is not an analytical of a half a point on the game on that day. Really cold, really windy. I mean, your team name is the Broncos. If you would have looked in the sky, I could tell the sky was, and I was just watching on TV. I didn't even look at the weather. The horses should have been neighing, telling you the weather is bad.
They knew what the weather was coming.
Of course they knew the weather was coming. That is a horrific mistake. Field goals and points were going to just be just impossible to get. That was not a half a point mistake. That cost you the game. That's I
believe
mistake.
I was the first one on our text stream to say you have to take the field goal, and we're not a very conservative.
Oh, we all agree. Yeah, no, we're an aggressive.
Everyone
group.
Snap agreed, but this isn't like sure. Analytics says go in that position, but you have a backup quarterback, and you just have to kick the field goal. And so I took a chance. I'm like,
New England couldn't do anything. I mean, what did New England do in that game offensively? Nothing other than that one drive of run. That's the only thing.
And they knew the blitz was coming. They knew that the blizzard was coming.
Yeah.
You have to take it, go up 10-0, and I don't know. I mean, that might be enough to win that game. I mean, you saw how tough it was.
I got a question for all of you guys. The 3 points they got was when they got the first down on 4th and 1. Can anybody here that watched that 4th and 1? I've seen a replay 100 times. Could literally tell me that he made that 4th and 1. I don't think it was close.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, you have this way of it was ruled, and then they looked at the video.
Well, I'm asking you guys. What do you guys think?
I think he made it. I think he made it because there was a hidden little push with the hands, and of course, Mike, you bet the other side probably. So then
I didn't have any bet in the game.
No, I don't think it was enough.
It was great for me. I mean,
it was not enough to overturn.
Overturning that. It was so close. Let me tell you, that was like razor thin.
What happened to that thing that they said they were going to use this year? The instant.
They do.
They sure didn't use it there.
Yeah.
Well, no, they do, but also you got to look at the aerial look. I love that aerial look.
You couldn't see the ball from any angle. So you can't overturn if you can't, if you can't, if there's no visual evidence.
Are the balls aren't microchipped now, or are they?
No, they should be.
They should be.
They should be microchipped.
That'll be next. What I do love about the modern day. Go ahead, Woodley, if you want to say something. Oh, you're saying goodbye. Okay. I'm just gonna say one last thing. I'm happy that the officiating's got better and better and better. These reviews that they do where you don't have to waste a flag. We all kind of want a fair game, right? And a lot of games were lost in the past due to bad officiating. So good on the NFL for putting them in that position. All right, having said that, guys, next week we're going to be talking about prop bets. Bye-bye.